So let's talk about this. This is a movie that came out, I believe, in 2008, but they had a TV show that preceded it, and the movie was supposed to be like the season finale of the TV show, the series finale. Let's talk about Noah's Ark. Now, my backstory with Noah's Ark, the movie came out when I was about 17, 18 years old, somewhere in that age range. And watching the show, I was just so enamored with like so many black gay men like coexisting. Because at that point in my life, I hadn't experienced that, I hadn't seen that. That was a foreign concept to me. And I didn't know like that's what life could be. So there was this kind of like infatuation with like, wow, you can have these group of friends, and you're all attractive, and you're all like doing your thing, and you all coexist, you're all different. It's very interesting. So I want to unpack this movie now. I'm not going to give you the complete scene by scene rundown. I'm just going to give you key points based on how I remember, because I went back and I watched it today to see like, okay, as my current self, someone who has gone through life, who has had friendships, who has had bonds with different guys, and who's obviously been having sex and been in relationships and had jobs and had failures, going through these real life experiences, which I hadn't done, and that it didn't happen to me because I'm only 17, 18 years old at the time that the movie was aired. And can I just say, like, the movie has such a 2008 soundtrack. It's so good though, because it has a lot of Solange Knowles on it. It has a lot of like Michelle Williams, like that really underground indie artist kind of feel. Like it's flooded throughout the movie. And I just think the soundtrack is probably one of the best parts of the entire movie. I'm gonna listen to this to the music and say, oh, I forgot about this song. I forgot how great this song was when it came out. And a lot of the songs that's played through the movie, they weren't really popular songs. Okay, let's get into the movie. So it opens up, I believe they're on a plane or a boat. I can't really remember, to be honest, even though I just watched it. But I remember they're sitting down and they're on their way to Martha's Vineyards, which is actually owned by Wade. And Wade is the fiance of Noah, who is to be the assumed protagonist of the movie. The show is centered and surrounded by him. He's the driving force of these group of friends. It's Noah, it's Wade, they're a couple. It's Eddie and Chance, they're a couple. It's Alex and Trey, they're a couple. Trey isn't in the movie as much as he was in the show. And then there's Brandon and Ricky, and they're not really a couple. They're just fucking. Which Brandon is the youngest member of the cast. I think he's 19, while everyone else is much older. I can just imagine, like, at 19, if you're inviting me on a trip, it's going to be really hard for me to not take this shit seriously. So Brandon was way more mature than I was mentally at 19 years old. They get off on the boat, and Alex starts delegating right away what he wants people to do. Alex is the mother hen. We all have an Alex, or we've all encountered an Alex in our lives. I actually think, because I'm the oldest in my friend circle, I could be considered the mother hen, the Alex of the group. I believe Ricky is automatically, he's already trying to find some ass. He's already trying to find some dick. He's already trying to make his moves, even though he has like a really, really handsome, hot guy. Y'all guys are never satisfied. Y'all have like such a hot, sexy guy, and then y'all still want to. I don't get it. The friend group, oh, I don't know if I said why they're there, but they're there because they're doing Noah and Wade's wedding. They're doing their wedding. So the friend group, unbeknownst to I can't say it. Unbeknownst to them, like Wade and Noah, like they're kind of skeptical of Wade and their relationship. They don't think it's going to last. And I think that's fair, because this concept in like the LGBTQ, in the gay lifestyle, is monogamy is very, very hard to find. Everybody, and this is just based off my life experience, for making me believe that you could be faithful. It's a lot of tomfoolery. It's a lot of baggage. Everybody's damaged. Everybody got something going on. Nobody don't trust everybody. Everybody want to have their cake and eat it too, kind of a thing. And the movie does circle around that too. So then we have Eddie and Chance. Now, the thing about Chance is actually Brandon's professor in college. So that's very, very weird too. That's a weird dynamic, because you have Eddie, his husband, Chance, and then you have Brandon, who's with Ricky. And throughout the movie, you learn that Chance and Brandon like have this thing. They have this chemistry. Brandon has a crush on Chance. There's that too. So there's another like story plot that's going on around this whole entire wedding. And eventually Eddie and Chance fall apart, and they're wanting a divorce. But let's go to the next couple. Then we have Alex and Trey. Like I said, Trey isn't in the movie as much, but Alex and Trey have they're pretty much the example couple. Like they've been married, I believe, 10 years. If they're not married, they've been together for 10 years, which is the longest out of everybody in the show. But even they're having problems with their marriage because Alex is a bitch to Trey, and Trey is a little bit more passive and like I said in my Miss Netta and Charles video, you have a feminine personality and you have a masculine personality, and sometimes the masculine personality is a little bit more chill and laid back, and the feminine personality is kind of like in your face and So that creates a thing of contention with them because they now have a child and they're running a clinic, and they're trying to keep their marriage together too. So then as the movie goes on, things start to unravel really, really quickly. And it comes out that like Brandon, he's young. And I remember being 19 and scared to come out to my family. So he was telling Ricky how he, was kind of scared to come out to his mom and such and such and such. So Brandon calls his mom on the spot in front of Ricky because Ricky's on a hookup spree. So he's on the computer trying to find somebody to hook up with. And Brandon's having this moment with his mom, which I don't know if that was appropriate. I don't know if I would have done that then and there. Even if I had had a shot of Patron, I don't know if I would have had that kind of. Anybody notice that there was underage drinking? I didn't drink when I was 19. I really didn't start drinking until I was the legal age to drink, which is 21 in the United States. So I kind of found that interesting how everyone was okay with like Brandon being underage and like drinking. So while all this is going on, like I said, Alex is delegating what he wants everybody to do, but Alex is so like domineering and he's so in charge that like he's not sleeping, he's not getting any rest. So he's taking these caffeine pills and people are kind of catching on like, what the fuck is this? What is this caffeine pill that you're taking? And he paints a picture like it's herbal, no tea, but it actually is tea because it's caffeine pills, and eventually your ass gonna pass out, which eventually does happen later on in the movie. Wade and Noah they're looking at everything through rose-colored glasses, which I guess is normal if you're in a brand new kind of relationship and you're getting married. Like you think it's gonna be all of this hoop, like oh, like Cinderella kind of like fairy tale, and it's not any of that. And that's what the other couples were kind of trying to say. Like it's not what you think. Like you get out here and it's gonna be real fucking real. Then from what I can remember, Noah is a screen director. He's a screenwriter. I'm sorry. So I also remember Noah is a screenwriter. So his boss is calling him because she wants him to do a new screenwriting thing, like write something, and he's like, well, I'm getting married. So she's offended because she wasn't even invited to the wedding and such and such and such and such. She ends up showing up eventually also. So let's move on to like the middle of the movie where like it's really starting to unravel and people are really starting to show their cards, and like how there's kind of like hateration within the group circle a bit. So like I said, Noah's boss and another rapper, like a mogul, comes in. His name is Baby Gat, and Baby Gat has a crush on Noah and has had a crush on Noah. Like he wants to fuck Noah. Now looking back, Wade and Baby Gat didn't have much interaction to on-screen time together, which I think there could have been opportunity there to really kind of like hash that out and develop this thing between them. But due to the time constraints, I can understand why they left that out. But now thinking, I wouldn't have mind seeing like them have hash it out as well, because that's a thing too. When you get into these relationships and you got a guy and then you got your other, your guy, then you have, they're not getting along and they see each other kind of a thing. So they end up having a bachelor party where everyone kind of separates. I believe it was Eddie, Wade, and Brandon together, under the advice of Eddie, because Eddie didn't want Brandon to be with Noah, Alex, and Ricky and Chance, because they have a thing. Because yeah, Chance and Brandon have a thing. So I thought this scene was very, very fun. I think it was very, very playful. When I think about my own friend group, we don't really separate like that, or we didn't really separate. We always were together, but there was obviously like the divide between like the masculine boys and then maybe the feminine, the not so masculine boys, because we were a mixed group of guys. I can see like what they were doing with that kind of, the men versus the other men kind of a thing. And it was interesting to see the dynamic and how they chose to portray those relationships, because the guys were just sitting at the bar taking shots and just talking, And then like the other guys, the I guess the more feminine guys, were kind of sitting in the hot tub taking shots and just gossiping and running their mouth and talking about, oh, I know you want to, I know he got a wood and he fine, and it was very interesting, like the different conversations that were happening, in which Brandon being grouped in with the masculine guys, it showed a lot of his wisdom and wit, even at just being 19 years old, being able to hang with the big boys. Like I said, Noah's boss and Baby Gat end up showing up to the house, and Noah calls in the midst of that. Noah calls Wade's parents to invite them to the wedding because I guess off screen it had been told to Noah that his parents weren't coming because they didn't approve, when in all actuality they didn't know. And that comes out at the bachelor party, which I'm kind of like, y'all get drunk and y'all stop picking up that phone. Like, I wasn't. I mean, when I drink, I'm not picking up the phone calling nobody. I might send out a few text messages, but I ain't calling nobody. In the midst of this, the other guys come back because they went to the bar. They come back to the house while Baby got there, and Alex and Noah's boss, they're kind of bonding because they're the two like most feminine entities in the entire film. So they're having this like sister bond kind of thing going on too. And while this is going on, Baby Gat pursues Noah again. Now I'm looking at this and I'm kind of like, because Noah, he plays into it now. Noah knows he's cute. Noah, he's a cute guy, so he knows he's cute, and sometimes being cute is just enough. Well, Baby Gat consoles him because Noah's having doubt about the relationship and stuff at this point, and I may have skipped something. But whatever I skipped, it's not really important to the driving parts of the movie. He goes to give Baby Gat a hug, and like Baby Gat tries to do the thing on him and tries to like grab his ass and like make a move on him, and Noah ends up inadvertently pushing him into the pool, which he almost drowns because black people, we cannot swim. So Baby Gat gets out of the water and compliments Noah again, and then Baby Gat's back to his old tricks, and he goes and he runs to the hot tub, and Noah, you know what you was doing, Noah. Why would you do that? Noah goes and he chases him. I wouldn't have chased him. I don't care how much shots of Patron or how much Hennessy I've had. I'm not chasing nobody, especially because like I got Wade, and Wade is fine as fuck. Like Wade is a really good looking guy, probably outside of Trey, the best looking guy in the entire cast. The actors that play Wade, in my opinion, in Trey. Of course, Wade comes back and he sees it and he blows up. He blows up, rightfully so, because why y'all in the hot tub together? Y'all know better than this. Why would you do that? You know what? To be honest, everybody would have had to go. Get off my mother's property. Everybody got to go. I don't care how y'all get back to wherever y'all got to go, but bye, because the party's over. Ricky comes out behind him, and now I didn't say this, but Brandon and Ricky have an interaction where Brandon calls out Ricky and says, well, hey, you love Noah, which comes out over the course of the movie. It comes out of the course of the movie like Ricky does love Noah. So Ricky comes out and Noah begs Ricky to go and go check on the way because I don't want him to do anything bad, in which Ricky reluctantly goes to do. And while that's going on, because like I said, Noah and Baby Gat are in the hot tub, Ricky ends up making the move on Wade, and Noah sees it. Ricky kisses Wade, and Wade kisses Ricky back. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. Everybody would have got cussed out. Because hell no. Hell no. Especially on my wedding day, like my wedding weekend. Oh no, you gotta go. And I mean, I'm not a fighter, but I was gonna throw some drinks. Back in my day, I like to throw a drink in somebody's face. I love to do that back in my time when I was a younger tenderoni, and then run. In which, while all this is going on, like I said, Eddie and Chance, they're on the rocks too, and Eddie asked Chance for a divorce at some point through the movie, in which Chance is reluctant. He doesn't want to give up on his marriage. But while all this is going on towards the tail end of the movie, Chance and Brandon end up having sex. This is a hot mess. This is a true hot mess. First of all, like, that's for another video. Okay, so this is towards the end of the movie, and Ricky finally tells Noah that he's in love with him and that it was an accident, it was a mistake. He just wanted to know what Noah saw in Wade. You can find out what I see in him by just asking me. You ain't gotta kiss him. Noah guides Chance to tell Eddie, his husband, about Brandon and him hooking up. And Eddie and Chance, they make up. I don't know if I would have been okay with my man having sex with somebody in the house, when I'm upstairs sleeping, regardless on what. I don't know if that would be salvageable. I don't know. That's just me. And then, Noah's manager ends up, giving them extension, and they live happily ever after. No, they don't live happily ever after yet. The wedding day, because what actually ends up happening is Alex passed out. He passed out, and then the guys kind of take on the mantle of trying to like keep the weekend going and make sure that this wedding happens. So of course Alex comes too, and then it's the wedding day, and Noah's mom shows up. Noah's mom shows up, and she's I think she's kind of like what we all want our mom to be, like just accepting, bubbly, like you my son. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. You are my boy, and I'm gonna be your biggest cheerleader publicly and boisterously. I think we all like want that, and we all like desire that, like the perfect kind of like supportive mom when it comes to our lives. Then Wade's mom shows up, and I'm gonna be honest, Wade's mom kind of reminds me of my mother a little bit. She reminds me of my mom, and just like the way she stands and like the way she was talking, and at the end of the day, my mom, she's always had my back when I ever needed anything. If I ever needed anything, she always had my back. But she's also a religious woman. She's also a religious woman, so I could see a lot of that in my mom, and they dance and it's fun and everyone seems to be having a good time. That's how it ends. Wade and Noah end up jumping the broom, and everyone is happy. Alex ends up, apologizing to his husband at some point through the movie. Alex ends up apologizing to Trey, and they're good, and Trey accept Alex's apology with Trey's fine self, and then Eddie and Chance reconcile as well. They decide not to give up on their marriage. They're gonna make every day an adventure, every experience an adventure. And I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful to kind of show all of these different things coexisting and going on, the chaos. So much chaos. Ugh. Like, what about y'all? Has anyone rewatched this video since it came out and been like, I don't know if I would have reacted like that. What are your thoughts, like watching the movie compared to when it first came out in 2008 compared to now, where we're a little bit wiser, more conscious of our decisions, and we kind of know what life is about, and we know ethically what we should and shouldn't be doing, and what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. But yeah, I'm out of here. Just wanted to do this real quick. Peace. This is Like Isaiah. Will you be